I stand before you this evening to impart a message of profound significance, a message that possesses the power to revolutionize your existence in ways you may have never conceived possible. Our discourse tonight centers on a matter of utmost importance. Concentrate on your own development, not on others, for no one else will undertake this task on your behalf. You might be pondering, what does it truly mean to focus on oneself? Is it not self-centered to direct our attention inward when the world around us seems to demand so much of our energy and concern? I assure you, with unwavering conviction, that there is no greater act of service to the world than to cultivate and nurture the divinity within you. For you see, my esteemed listeners, you are not merely the physical entity you perceive yourself to be. You are not simply the product of your circumstances, your upbringing, or the opinions of others. No, you are far more magnificent than that. You are, in truth, the very essence of creation itself, a living embodiment of the divine imagination. When I speak of focusing on yourself, I am not advocating for a life of selfish indulgence or disregard for others. Rather, I am urging you to recognize and embrace the God within you, the infinite creative power that lies dormant in so many, waiting to be awakened and expressed. Consider for a moment the world around you. Every object, every circumstance, every relationship in your life is but an outward expression of your inner state of being. The world is yourself pushed out. It is a mirror reflecting back to your own consciousness, your own assumptions and beliefs about yourself and the nature of reality. If you find yourself constantly focused on others, their actions, their opinions, their successes or failures, you are, in essence, abdicating your role as the creator of your own experience. You are giving away your power, surrendering your divine birthright to shape your world according to your deepest desires and aspirations. My listeners, no one else can live your life for you. No one else can imagine for you, dream for you, or create the reality you wish to experience. This is a task that falls solely upon your shoulders, and it is through the focusing of your own consciousness, your own imagination, that you will bring about the changes you wish to see in your life. Let us delve deeper into this concept, for it is the very foundation upon which your future rests. Imagine, if you will, a vast and boundless sea of infinite possibilities. This sea represents the realm of pure potential, the unmanifested future that lies before you. Now picture yourself standing at the shore of this great sea, your feet firmly planted on the sand. In this moment, you have a choice. You can either gaze outward, allowing your attention to be captured by the waves created by others, their actions, their achievements, their perceived failures, or you can turn your gaze inward, focusing on the infinite power that resides within you. When you choose to focus on others, you become like a leaf tossed about on the surface of the sea, buffeted by forces beyond your control. You may find yourself envious of another's success, discouraged by their achievements, or overly concerned with their opinions of you. In doing so, you forfeit your power to navigate your own course through life. But when you choose to focus on yourself, to cultivate and nurture your own divine imagination, you become like a master sailor, capable of charting your own course across the vast sea of possibility. You recognize that the power to shape your reality lies not in external circumstances or the actions of others, but in your own consciousness, your own ability to imagine and believe. This, my dear listeners, is the great secret that has been hidden in plain sight throughout the ages. The kingdom of heaven is within you. The power to create, to transform, to manifest your deepest desires is not something to be sought in the outer world, but something to be awakened and expressed from within. Now, you might be thinking, but how can I focus on myself when the world demands so much of my attention? How can I ignore the pressures, the expectations, the judgments of others? And to this, I say, you need not ignore the world, but you must learn to see it for what it truly is, a reflection of your own state of consciousness. Every person you encounter, every situation you face, is but an aspect of yourself pushed out into the world. When you truly understand this, you will see that there is no need to change others or to seek their approval. The only thing that needs to change is your own inner state, your own concept of self. Let me share with you a principle that, once understood and applied, will revolutionize your approach to life. It is this: imagination creates reality. Your imagination, properly focused and imbued with feeling, is the very substance from which your future is molded. When you focus on yourself, you are not engaging in idle daydreaming or wishful thinking. You are, in fact, participating in the highest form of creative activity. You are exercising your divine power to shape and mold the substance of your reality according to your will. Consider this: every great invention, every work of art, every transformative idea that has ever graced this world began as a seed in someone's imagination. The Wright brothers imagined human flight before they ever built their first airplane. Michelangelo saw David in the raw block of marble before he ever lifted his chisel. Martin Luther King Jr. imagined a world of racial equality and justice before he ever uttered the words, "I have a dream." These individuals did not achieve greatness by focusing on the limitations imposed by others or the perceived impossibilities of their time. They focused on the vision within themselves, nurturing it with the power of their imagination and the intensity of their belief. You, my dear listeners, possess this same creative power. It is your divine inheritance, your birthright as a child of God. But to access this power, to wield it effectively, you must learn to focus on yourself, to cultivate your own inner world with the same dedication and care that a master gardener tends to their most prized flowers. Now, let us explore how you can begin to shift your focus inward, to tap into the wellspring of creative power that lies within you. The first step is to become aware of your thoughts, your assumptions, and your beliefs about yourself and the world around you. Many of you go through life on autopilot, allowing your thoughts and beliefs to run unchecked in the background of your consciousness. You accept limitations and constraints imposed by others or by society without questioning their validity. You allow past experiences to dictate your expectations of the future. But I tell you this: your past does not define your future unless you allow it to do so. Your current circumstances are not indicators of your potential unless you believe them to be. The opinions and judgments of others have no power over you unless you grant them that power. To focus on yourself is to become acutely aware of your inner dialogue, the stories you tell yourself about who you are and what you're capable of. It is to question every assumption, every belief that does not serve your highest vision for yourself. Ask yourself, what do I truly desire? What is the grandest, most inspiring vision I can conceive for my life? Allow yourself to dream big, to imagine without limitations, for in the realm of imagination, there are no constraints, no impossibilities. Once you have clarified your vision, your next task is to make it real in your imagination. This, my listeners, is where the true work begins. For it is not enough to merely think about what you desire. You must feel it, experience it, live it in your imagination as if it were already your present reality. Neville Goddard often spoke of the importance of entering into a state akin to sleep, a state of relaxed awareness where the critical faculties of the conscious mind are subdued. In this state, you can more easily impress upon your subconscious mind the reality you wish to experience. Close your eyes now, if you will, and imagine a scene that would imply the fulfillment of your desire. See it clearly in your mind's eye. Engage all your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? Make it as real and as vivid as you possibly can. Now, here's the crucial part: you must feel the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the sense of accomplishment that would accompany the realization of your desire. For it is this feeling that gives life to your imagination, that imbues it with the power to reshape your reality. Do this not once, but repeatedly. Make it a daily practice, as consistent and as natural as breathing. For just as you would not expect a seed to grow into a mighty oak overnight, so too must you give your imaginal acts time to take root and flourish in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. As you engage in this practice, you may find that the outer world seems to resist your new conception of yourself. Old habits, old patterns of thinking and behaving may try to reassert themselves. People in your life may question your new attitude or try to pull you back into old ways of being. This, my listeners, is where your focus on yourself becomes crucial. For if you allow your attention to be drawn outward, to be captured by the opinions and judgments of others, you risk losing sight of the new reality you are creating. Remember always that the world around you is yourself pushed out. What you see in others, what you experience in your circumstances, is but a reflection of your own state of consciousness. If you encounter resistance or negativity, Do not fight against it. Instead, turn your attention back to your inner world, to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. For you see, the outer world must conform to your inner assumptions. It has no choice in the matter. Just as a shadow must follow the movements of the object that casts it, so too must your outer reality align itself with your inner state of being. This is why focusing on yourself rather than on others or on external circumstances is so crucial. For in doing so, you are addressing the root cause rather than the symptoms. You are working at the level of cause rather than effect. Now, some of you may be thinking, but isn't this all rather selfish? Shouldn't we be concerned with the welfare of others, with making the world a better place? And to this, I say, there is no greater gift you can give to the world than the gift of your own enlightenment, your own self-realization. When you focus on yourself in the way I am describing, when you awaken to your true nature as a divine creative being, you naturally uplift those around you. Your very presence becomes a blessing to others, for as you transform your own consciousness, you transform the world. Consider this: if you are constantly focused on others, trying to change them or gain their approval, you are operating from a place of lack, of insufficiency. You are, in essence, saying to the universe, I am not enough as I am. I need others to change or to validate me in order to be complete. But when you focus on yourself, when you cultivate your own inner garden and allow your divine nature to blossom, you operate from a place of abundance, of wholeness. You no longer need anything from others because you have found the source of all fulfillment within yourself. From this place of inner abundance, you naturally overflow with love, with creativity, with inspiration. You become a light in the world, illuminating the path for others, not through preaching or proselytizing, but through the simple radiance of your being. This, my dear listeners, is the true meaning of service. It is not about sacrificing yourself for others or trying to fix the world's problems through external action alone. It is about becoming the fullest, most authentic expression of your divine self, and in doing so, inspiring others to do the same. Now, let us address another common misconception. Some of you may believe that focusing on yourself means isolating yourself from others, withdrawing from the world. Nothing could be further from the truth. To focus on yourself is not to disconnect from others, but to connect with them more deeply and authentically. For when you are in touch with your true self, when you are operating from a place of inner wholeness and abundance, your relationships with others naturally become more fulfilling, more harmonious. You see, when you are constantly seeking validation or approval from others, you create a dynamic of neediness and dependence in your relationships. You become like a beggar, always asking for scraps of affection or recognition from those around you. But when you focus on yourself, when you cultivate your own inner riches, you come to your relationships as a king or queen, offering the abundance of your being freely and joyously to others. You no longer need anything from them, and paradoxically, this makes you far more attractive and magnetic to others. People are naturally drawn to those who exude confidence, self-assurance, and inner peace. When you focus on yourself in the way I am describing, you naturally develop these qualities. You become a source of inspiration and upliftment for others, not because you are trying to be, but simply because you are being your authentic self. Moreover, when you focus on yourself, you develop a deeper understanding of human nature. For as you explore the depths of your own consciousness, you begin to see the same patterns, the same desires, the same fears and hopes in others. This leads to greater empathy, greater compassion, and a more profound connection with your fellow human beings. So you see, focusing on yourself is not a selfish act, but the most selfless thing you can do. It is the foundation upon which all genuine service and contribution to the world must be built. Now, let us delve deeper into the practical application of this principle. How can you maintain this focus on yourself in the face of life's many distractions and challenges? First and foremost, you must cultivate the habit of self-awareness. Throughout your day, take moments to check in with yourself. Notice your thoughts, your emotions, your bodily sensations. Become aware of the assumptions and beliefs that are shaping your experience in each moment. This practice of self-awareness is like shining a light into the dark corners of your consciousness. It allows you to see clearly the patterns of thought and behavior that may be holding you back from fully expressing your divine nature. As you become more aware of your inner world, you will naturally begin to make choices that align more closely with your true desires and aspirations. You will find yourself less reactive to external circumstances and more responsive to your own inner guidance. Another powerful practice is that of revision. At the end of each day, take some time to review the events of your day in your imagination. If there were any experiences that did not align with your desired state of being, revise them in your mind. See the events playing out differently, in a way that reflects your highest vision for yourself. Feel the feelings associated with this revised version of events. This practice allows you to reshape your memory, and by extension, your expectations for the future. Remember, my listeners, your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what you imagine vividly and what you actually experience in the physical world. By revising your day in this way, you are literally rewriting your past and reconfiguring your future. Another crucial aspect of focusing on yourself is the cultivation of a rich inner life. This means taking time each day to nurture your imagination, to explore the vast realms of possibility that exist within your own consciousness. Read books that inspire you, that challenge your assumptions and expand your understanding of yourself and the world. Engage in creative activities that allow you to express your innermost thoughts and feelings. Spend time in nature, connecting with the beauty and majesty of the natural world. All of these activities serve to enrich your inner world, to provide you with the raw material from which you can shape your desired reality. For remember, your outer world is but a reflection of your inner state. The richer and more vibrant your inner life, the more magnificent your outer experience will become. Now, as you embark on this journey of self-focus, you may encounter resistance, both from within yourself and from those around you. This is natural and to be expected, for you are challenging deeply ingrained patterns of thought and behavior, both in yourself and in the collective consciousness. When you encounter this resistance, do not fight against it. Remember, what you resist persists. Instead, simply turn your attention back to your desired state of being. Focus on the feeling of your wish fulfilled, on the inner knowing that you are already the person you wish to be. For you see, my dear listeners, time is but an illusion created by our limited human perception. In the realm of pure consciousness, all possibilities exist simultaneously. The version of you that has already achieved your desires, that is living your ideal life, exists right now, in this very moment. Your task is simply to align your consciousness with that version of yourself. To feel as that version of you feels, to think as that version of you thinks, to behave as that version of you behaves. As you do this consistently, you will find your outer reality gradually shifting to match your new inner state. Now, some of you may be wondering, but what about taking action in the physical world? Surely we can't just sit around imagining all day and expect our lives to change? Into this, I say, action is indeed necessary, but it must be inspired action, action that flows naturally from your new state of being. When you focus on yourself in the way I am describing, when you cultivate a vivid inner experience of your desired reality, you will find yourself naturally inspired to take actions that align with that reality. These actions will not feel like effort or struggle. They will feel joyous, exciting, almost effortless. You see, when you try to force action from your current state of consciousness, you often encounter resistance and frustration. It's like trying to push a boulder uphill. But when you first change your inner state, when you align your consciousness with the version of you that has already achieved your desires, action becomes more like stepping onto a moving sidewalk. You are carried forward by the momentum of your own transformed consciousness. This is why focusing on yourself, on your inner world, is so crucial. It is the foundation upon which all effective action must be built. Without this inner alignment, even the most strenuous efforts often lead nowhere. But with it, even small actions can yield miraculous results.